Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae boys who take the lead.
Ball shot. Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to Ball Chat Call-In Show. And apologies for the late start. 9 minutes ahead of schedule. My name is Benton, along with the family. George, where go on, family?
I'm good. Yo, call-in feature.
And let's see if there is any echo. Any echo. No echo. Come in.
If they hear the echo, well, me know some me good for my end, so you was good for your end.
Football family.
I see the reason why.
Yes, big up to the listeners. Call-in show midweek half. No, the name of the show is called Halftime. Yes, I officially paint it, press it, seal it up. This is the Ball Chat Halftime Show, right?
Yep.
Ball Chat Halftime Show kicking off. Originally always slated for 8:30 Eastern Wednesdays from here and for the rest of the club football season. Champions League is on the forefront today. Big up to all listeners. Thank you always for joining us. All the new subscribers, welcome to the Ball Chat crew. I am Benton. He's George. You can call in and discuss anything you want. If you have any questions, the number is what? 770-696-6040. You also can drop a comment in the chat if you want. But it's all about Champions League football at the top of the show today, family. Semi-finalists, 4 semi-finalists come on down. Arsenal, Paris, Barca, Inter Milan. Talk to me. Your thoughts on the quarterfinal games today, family. Big overarching takeaway before we get to particular games.
The particular game, it was as expected. And actually, both games were as expected. It was actually what we predicted on our regular flagship show on Sunday. So there wasn't really much of a surprise. The surprise was the lead up to the game and how such fans were worried. And I know it's not even such fans. It is really such that team haters, because I think they were the loudest. The Arsenal fans were buoyed, but the Real Madrid haters, they were nervous because they don't want to go through another comeback game. So that was for that game. But as for the Bayern Munich game, it's as expected. We waxed lyrically about Inter Milan. I said Bayern Munich was short-handed, and it showed. And it is what it is. The better team won. And for Barcelona game and the Aston Villa game, both teams, they had a little bit of a nervousness to it towards the end of the game, especially PSG. But both teams went through as expected. So at the end of the day, for me, I think the 4 best teams in Europe, the 4 best current playing teams in Europe, made it to the semifinals.
Pound for pound, as it currently says, semifinals will take place April 29th, Arsenal versus Paris, 3 p.m. That game will be at the Emirates. Barcelona versus first leg is April 20th. Barcelona, April 30th. That first leg will be at Barcelona. Now, I mean, let's walk back through the games, starting with yesterday's games. First and foremost, there is something about what Aston Villa did to PSG in the latter half of that football game. And a few weeks ago, I think many of us felt like, myself included, that PSG team, some even said them lethal. You know what? PSG is still PSG. And I will say this, until PSG win a Champions League, they are still PSG. What are they? A team that is still force right. They are a team that is still waiting to win the Big Ears trophy. There is no way that PSG should have been so troubled. And if Aston Villa was a little bit more clinical at the latter part of that game, who knows? It would be a different outcome because, I mean, Aston Villa had them under pressure in that game later on.
So you are saying that Aston Villa never deserved to be there and PSG wet the bed even though they won. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
What I'm saying is this: PSG has been heralded and waxed lyrically by some, you included. In fact, I think you and Fabian, big up Fabian, labeled PSG as lethal. I've labeled PSG as a dangerous team. As a dangerous team. And
So
that team that I saw yesterday against Aston Villa down the stretch doesn't look like a dangerous football team. That looked like a team that when get punched in the mouth and with the right opponent, they will falter and falter as they do in these big. So to that end, this is why I will pick Arsenal to beat them. So we're just going to get that out of the way right now. I will pick Arsenal to beat them in the semi-final.
So coming all right, for me, in my opinion, coming into this round, because of what PSG did to Liverpool, PSG became the sexy pick, right? They became the team that everybody was like, oh my God, yo, why they beat Liverpool and them go on Anfield and take down the mighty Liverpool and blah 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 blah. They became the sexy pick. And it sounds to me now like Arsenal is now transcending PSG and becoming the new sexy pick because they took down the mighty Real Madrid. It depends on how you look at, and it's the same side of the coin. I don't think it's two sides of the coin. It's the same coin. We're both looking at the same outcome. PSG won. And we're both now, you're coming from a different point of view. Just to play devil's advocate, because I'm not saying that you're wrong. If PSG lose to Arsenal, then you will be proven 100% right. If PSG beat Arsenal and win the Champions League, then we're going to say your opinion was wrong. And I don't think you're neither right or wrong. You're just processing what we saw Tuesday and I think you're trying to find an explanation for why PSG looks so dominant, and then for 3/4 of the game over two ties, and then the last quarter they faltered. I can come to you with the point of view that team learned how to play with a lead, and I remember. Let me rephrase it. That team got an opportunity to learn how to play with a lead, and let us see if they take the lead versus Arsenal. And let us see what I'm doing in the second leg, right? So only time will tell, basically. But at the end of the day, they won. And that is all El Loco should say. We won. We won. Get ready for Arsenal.
Aston Villa defeated PSG 3-2 in the second leg. PSG won the tie 5-4. So PSG advanced to the semi-final. Football family, this is Ball Chat Halftime Show, a call-in show. The call-in number is 770-696-6040. And where you calling power? WhatsApp?
You can call if you have a WhatsApp, you want to call on WhatsApp, you call 352-745-0992.
Wait, at the chopper. Wait, send the other number, man, guys. You know, so WhatsApp is the chopper app. That is the app that people will use to call in. Yeah, but big up to all the family. If you have a comment you want to drop it in the chat, or if you want to call in. Just taking a look at the quarterfinal games and kind of early reading on these semi-final games in the Champions League. If you're new to the content, consider subscribing to the show. We do this every week, Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Ball Chat, a halftime show. We also have a Sunday show where we'll discuss and recap the week that was in the world of football, Sunday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, so the other quarter-final game that took place yesterday, family. Barcelona defeated Mr. Gurasai and Dortmund. Dortmund won the tie leg 3-1, but Barca won the tie 5-1. And again, this is another scenario where I personally believe that there is enough evidence here that Inter will have a chance. And ultimately, I will go out on a limb and say I'm going to pick Inter to win this entire thing. But we'll get to that later on. Barcelona plays with this high line, and this high line could be something that Inter really utilized. Granted, Dortmund exploited it, and if Mr. Gurasai was a little bit more sharper over these two legs, it could have been a different or a closer game. Your thoughts, family, in my opinion.
Yes. They are kind of like the same thing now with like with PSG. Same side of the coin, and we can process or want process it. If. The better team won. Now, again, I think Barcelona and PSG, they are similar in stature, similar in
Wait, hold on. Barcelona and PSG similar in what?
In stature, in team stature this year. I'm not talking.
No, don't mix Barcelona with hurry. Don't mix Barcelona with force right. PSG is in the same league as Man United. Come on.
What?
I mean, these are teams. PSG is a club, aspire. They were to something great. Barcelona is already great.
Okay. But is this all right? So Real Madrid is the standard bearer of Champions League football.
Yes, that's the Royal Whites.
That's the Royal. They are the mecca of champions. They are the profile, the ideal team
they
of
are the Royal Whites.
So what the hell did they look like today? It's the same thing with Barcelona.
We will get to the Royal Whites in a second.
No, but is that what I'm saying is that Barcelona is not an invincible team like we've seen in the past in some years. They are just like PSG, where they have questions, and questions were asked even though they got past the tie. Now, will they learn? It's the same thing that is asked of PSG. It's the same thing that's going to be asked of Barcelona. If Barcelona is to take the lead against Inter Milan, can they hold that lead? Can they win a game 1-0? Because that is a question now of PSG, in my opinion. Can you win 1-0 over two ties? If you score one goal, do you have the confidence that you can still win over two ties? That's the question for Barcelona. We saw both teams kind of got nervous towards the end of their quarterfinal games. On Tuesday, can they learn from that experience? And that is my takeaway from it.
I mean, I think for this game, and maybe some Barca fans, some of the people on Barca will say, I am Barca bias here.
Yes, you are.
And there might be some small truth to that, but Barcelona had the ability today to kind of roll out a youngster, Fermin Lopez, playing in that 10 role, and that was important. You know, Pedri is essentially the standard bearer in this team in that 10 slot. So I probably would have liked Barca to rest a few more players, but ultimately, at the end of the day, Barca is and should not ever be categorized or classified with PSG. Amen.
I mean, if you want to take offense to it, that is on you. You know, that is completely up to you, sir. If you want to be offended by that statement.
Let's keep until PSG win the Big Ears trophy. We keep some teams over the other side.
All right, sir.
PSG should be equated with Arsenal. In fact, they are the perfect partner for the semi-final. Now, we're going to reserve the Inter Milan Bayern Munich game for last. Let's go to this Arsenal Real Madrid game. Go ahead. Go and get your first thoughts on the game. Arsenal end up winning this game 5-1. Big up to all the Gunners fans in the world, wherever you're there. By the way, no win nothing yet, but enjoying yourself.
Yeah, but what you just said a while ago is a sentiment of all people who watch the game today not wanting Real Madrid to win. And that to me is the funny part. That's the irony of this whole thing. Is you had more anti-Real Madrid fans watching the game than Arsenal fans, in my opinion. Yes. I think people they have Real Madrid fatigue in Champions League. I'm just tired of seeing Real Madrid. And that don't have anything to do with the game, but that has everything to do with the sentiment and the rhetoric around the game. We sat on this show on Sunday, and I said it. There's no reason for Arsenal to feel nervous playing this game. You beat the side 3-0. Mbappe had one chance in the first leg. After that, it was you should have scored more goals than Real Madrid should have scored at least one or two. That means that you are that much better than them. And it showed again in the second leg. It was not a fluke. You are that better. You are 5 to 6 goals better than Real Madrid. And I think you said it in our group chat. If this game played 5 more times, Real Madrid still wouldn't win. And that's really what we saw. Real Madrid would not win this game. They are just not good enough this year. They're not better than Arsenal.
Real Madrid, I think this is chicken coming home to roost this year for Real Madrid. This is, there's probably a part of Real Madrid brass who say, they're going to probably make somebody else win the Champions League for a difference. Just to foster new viewers to come forward and watch this thing. I expect Madrid to come back next year and fully loaded. But the ultimate thing with the Real Madrid that I saw today, and if this is the last Champions League game for Carlo at Real Madrid, if he does leave in the summer and Xabi Alonso or someone else comes in, I mean it's really a failure, epic proportion that of Carlo in my sentiment that you can't really take some ballers off the field. Like Vinicius Jr. has not played and have not played anything in this football game. It's when the tie almost done and dead, him score a little fluxy goal and him pull up him shirt. I talk about this is Madrid. And I think this is something that Florentino Perez and Real Madrid leadership will have to examine how they want to go forward in the summer with this relationship. You need to have a coach who's willing, because Carlos should be able to stop someone beside him head. Because there's no way Real Madrid with this level of talent supposed to lose 5-1. Arsenal pound for pound is not 5-1 on paper better than Real Madrid, personnel wise. But what we have seen is a failure of the ballers them to really come forward for Real Madrid and execute. And subsequently, the team won these 2 legs, whereas the individuals, them still have scratched themselves and have figured out what I want.
Okay. I will look at it, just play devil's advocate. Real Madrid, they're in a transition period. One thing that we can clearly say now, Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, you don't just get up and move away from generational players. And I'm not going to say that they are legendary world top disc players, but they are generational talent for let's put it this way, they represent an era of Real Madrid that they are now transitioning away from. Not generational, but they represent an era. You don't just change eras and walk into a new era and win the Champions League. It just doesn't happen like that. So there has to be that growing pains. There has to be that gray period. And look, if growing pains is still making it to the quarterfinals in the Champions League, you have nothing to worry about. You are right. Just make the right decisions.
Real Madrid, they're not growing pains, Brethren. This is why the man them won 15 Champions League trophies. Them not as foolishness about you have to go through transition and grow. Them things there. They build their team. They invested heavily, especially with this high five-star general Mbappe. They sought and recruited him heavily. But I think more importantly for me with Real Madrid, I agree 100% with the Toni Kroos, Luka Madrid statement that you made. But I also believe that regarding a couple of ballers in this Real Madrid team, they were over these two legs. Some players were exposed. Lucas Vasquez definitely is not up to scratch. Eduardo Camavinga, I think they have to make I don't want to say move on from Camavinga, but I think if the right offer comes in, I would move on from Camavinga. And here's why. He doesn't play midfield very well, or well enough to be like the next level generation baller. And he doesn't do it badly enough that you say, boy, him is a bug. And he will get in and get you tackles and win ball games. But these are the two players, Toshimi and Camavinga, are the players who are ear apparent. And them can't take the ear. So you have to make a decision upon one or both of them. Even one play the other game and one play today. And there was pretty much the same foolishness. And then Jude Bellingham, and then this Jude Bellingham situation, I don't know what I'm going with Jude Bellingham. Them have to figure out his mood scenario and get him a therapist. Because at the end of the day, you cannot be so roller coaster in a ball game. You are dependent, it's dependent on you to come and take charge of this team and take the game and scruff of the neck. This team needs a leader, and they need a leader real bad.
That is the key word. The key word is right there. They need a leader. And that's where it ends. It starts and ends with that word, leadership, right? Now, Camavinga, Chouameni, I said this years ago. I said this probably 3 years ago when the first
big up,
came
sorry, Junior. Big up Kofi Paul. Kofi Paul says Arsenal look real good today. Championship material. Yeah, man. Them go on with them thing.
There goes the sexy pick word again. But I said at the time, you can't, if you're not going to play both of them together, you have to choose one. And I think their development suffered because they both exist in the same team. And you have to find some place to play them. So the years that Camavinga or Chouameni is supposed to spend playing a certain role, learning over the last couple of years, they've spent those times trying to figure out where they even fit. And now, when the time comes for them to take over, they're not ready. And I think they were mismanaged. And I think I would go a step further than what you said. I would move on from both of them. I would cash in on both of them. They are two very good players. They are two players that have high value. They will go to a team. Like, Camavinga can walk into Liverpool tomorrow and make Liverpool better.
I don't even know, Junior. Week in and week out?
No, he can't. No, he can't.
Not over Gravenberch.
He is Gravenberch.
No, he's not. He is not. He's a better tackler than Gravenberch, but he's not a better passer than Gravenberch.
But we haven't seen him get the chance consistently, and that's my point.
How many chances the brother need? Last week we see the man them put him in at the in fact I think we had an echo there.
Not from me.
Football family, are we echoing? Let's make sure that we're not echoing.
We're good.
Mic check. Family, we have a calling phone up and want to make sure so we don't echo. No echo.
That messed everything. We're good.
Okay. But regarding Camavinga, I've watched Camavinga played quite a number of games. Whether this season, last season. And last season you say, all right, you start coming into your own and you don't really expect a lot more. But this season is where I expect a Camavinga now to make that next step. And maybe that's too early of an expectation. But in a game like last week, if you're going to be a baller at the Royal Whites, at the Emirates, these are the nights, and And big up Kofi, big up. It says no echo. Big up family. Thank you. These are nights when, you know, last week, tonight, and against these big opponents, when Real Madrid expect you to step up and play some ball. And non-existent last week, overran in the midfield. End up getting a red card at the end of the game. Fast forward this week to Tushimini, and I don't even know if I can say he was any better. No, I don't think Camavinga walked into this Liverpool team. No.
All right. No, all right. So let's peel back on that a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
My point is to the potential that they have. And when I say Camavinga is Gravenberg, they are identical players. When Gravenberg went to Liverpool first year, when Klopp brought him in, he looked lost. This year, Slot kind of helped. We can make the argument, or somebody will make a Slot
you
fan
can make the argument.
A Slot fan will say, oh, you know, he knows exactly where Gravenberg should play. A Liverpool fan might say, no, Gravenberg just needed time to figure out where he fits in the team. A football fan might say he just needed consistency. Which one is right? Which one? I don't think any of the statements is right or wrong. It's just a perspective. But in my opinion, you cannot be a good footballer if you don't have a set role or a set position. Camavinga, what is Camavinga's? I wouldn't even say ideal role. Where do you see Camavinga playing in Real Madrid night in, night out? Do you see Camavinga playing one role, or do you see him playing all over the field? Because for me, the answer is he's playing all over the field. He doesn't have a set role.
But that is also a failure of Camavinga to excel at any particular role.
No, that's not Camavinga.
Camavinga does some things well, but he does. All right. If Camavinga was supposed to become the sixth at Real Madrid, then Camavinga, when started in that sixth, time and time again, would have dominated and taken a. If Camavinga was supposed to become the left back at Real Madrid, which they played in at some time, it's like you can't. Time to move on.
That's the point, Benton. He doesn't have a set role. And every year, Real Madrid go through some injury crisis, and Camavinga is lauded for his Swiss Army knife ability. But then now when the chicken come home to roost, and now you are being asked to step up and play a set position, now you are being asked to step up and be the man in a position, you can't do it because you're not used to it. Instead of Chouameni played more as centre-back than a holding midfielder. When he is and always was a holding midfielder. You know that Chouameni play the six anytime. Look, revisionist history, injuries is part of the game. Hindsight 2020. I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. However, if Real Madrid was healthy and Arsenal was healthy, Arsenal do have a chance. It's just that simple. And if Chouameni don't have a chance.
And by healthy, who will be there for Real Madrid?
The Brazilian were hurt. The centre back. Militao, Rudiger will be there.
Okay.
You have the right back were hurt.
Danny Carvajal. Okay.
He'll be there.
Okay.
Chouameni and Camavinga. Declan Rice and Partey cannot run the Chouameni and Camavinga in the middle.
And Declan Rice and Partey will pass the ball better than Camavinga and Chouameni. This is a fundamental problem. It doesn't matter how well you can run with people. You still have to make the passes. Real Madrid is fundamentally missing the Luka Modric type of player. The straw that stirs the drink. And because of this, because Jude Bellingham can play that role, but Jude Bellingham was molded into going forward and attack. So now he's in his attacking mode.
Well, if there's one team that I would suggest that people, if they want to be a part of the conversation, give me a call. Call me.
And the WhatsApp number.
352.
Wait, let me get the WhatsApp. Let me type up the WhatsApp number there, cause And no chopper, don't call, please. No chopping.
352
We
745.
WhatsApp call is. Yeah, go ahead and make your point, and then you can,
Yeah, but
WhatsApp is
352 745
I'm not supposed to know the
09.
number, man.
Yeah, but I don't know why the hell they ask me all over it all the time.
754
745
745 745
0992.
09. Yeah, the number sound like one of them number from round corner.
Brad, listen.
Back road calling number them. What's up, people? If you want to call it.
It's like oh Trump, but I wrote a people, but shut up.
Calling 7. Yeah, go ahead.
But Real Madrid, if Real Madrid is one team that they need to move on from some pieces. They will get better by subtraction. They will. And I made a big point. I think this is the point of the year. This is if Ball Chat, if there was an award show for take of the year, hot take of the year or point of the year, this will get nominated. Lenny Yoro was supposed to sign for Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, the president, Perez, refused to pay the asking fee for Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro was holding out to go to Real Madrid. He didn't want to sign anywhere else. Publicly said it. I want to play for Real Madrid. And Ten Hag and company came in and said, yo, forward, brother. You'll get playing time here. And Manchester United acted swiftly. I'm telling you this right now. I don't know if they would have won, but it wouldn't be 5-1. It would have never been 5-1 if Lenny Yoro had signed for Real Madrid. Arsenal would have found it harder to beat Real Madrid if they had a Lenny Yoro in their squad. That is how much that signing is worth, in my opinion.
Junior's hot take of the year is this for calendar year 2025 or calendar year 2020? It's fiscal year 2026, 2025. What hot take? Let's focus on Arsenal because we're focusing a lot on this bug side.
And I'm going to big up Tony Henry. Big up Tony Henry. He said Arsenal will win Champions League. North London, nice tonight. Rice and Skelly rumbings.
Them said them have a thing our girl and said what was that image? They said the lid will be on at the Bernabeu for the game heading in. Them said Arsenal fans so them love steam rice. Is that the meme? Rice better. Yeah. Rice steam better with lid on. But pound for pound, Arsenal excellent over the two legs. Excellent.
Big side.
Yeah, and it's a testament.
Tony, remember to hit the subscribe button real quick. Please, Tony, please.
Remember to smash the like button, family.
I hit the like, but yeah, go ahead, Benton.
And it is a testament to a collective effort. Total team effort, and two excellent free kicks from the last week. But I mean today, they didn't that speed from Martinelli on the glass goal. Good old Virgin Fran Garcia couldn't keep up. I mean, Fran Garcia was running him socks off and couldn't keep up. So kudos to Arsenal.
That was just a cherry on top. I'm not. You're pointing to
fine. The cherry. Whatever. They win them. Why not win both legs? This is just to show Real Madrid that you're better than them right now.
The real celebratory moment for me was the way how Declan Rice was reading the game. There were moments where Declan Rice actually jumped out of position to intercept certain passes. And I wish I could clip it and show it. But there was a moment in the second half when Mbappe fumbled the ball and it looked like he got away from the three defenders. It was Partey, Rice, and I want to say Lewis Skelly. And the channel opened up. But for some reason, Mbappe wanted to knock the ball to Jude Bellingham. That was just standing right there, seemingly open at the time. But by the time he held his head down, Rice literally went from in front of him and went right into the passing lane and just collect the ball and just easily move the ball forward. That to me was the poster for the game today. And I said it Sunday. The 2 free kicks, cool and everything. But Declan Rice will have to show his transfer fee value in this leg. And he did. I think Declan Rice. I know Sean said that Partey was baller, but to me, him and Declan Rice.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, man. Them put that shift in that midfield, man. They will
Rice
not be
was at
removed.
next level. Rice was at next level. Rice,
Yeah.
Declan Rice today, Declan Rice just look, he just looked like a different baller today. I won't even disrespect him and say, oh, he looked like player X or player this. He might just look like a different baller in me. He looked like he was playing on a different plane.
Mikel Arteta says thanks to all our fans who were with us on the journey around the hotel, who got behind us. It's our job to keep people happy, and I hope they're proud of our players. They're absolutely proud, Mikel. They're absolutely proud. We'll discuss semi-final games, tie coming up later on. In the preview show later in the week in the coming weeks. But Carlo Ancelotti said, I like the team's attitude today. Now it's my job to refocus. It's sad, but I have absolutely no worries about how my players will respond. We will fight on, we'll learn from the experience, and then we'll try to be better for the next match. And that was reported. That was, so I guess Carlo now is focused on La Liga.
I mean, what else could he say?
Hey, go and go see the boss. Go and go see Florentino Perez.
I mean, but then now the next side though is for Arsenal. This is not your Champions League win. You just made it to the next step. Don't wet the bed. Don't. This is a good opportunity for you. Don't throw it away. And I think that's what they should take away from this.
I mean, Arsenal is doing quite well. Arsenal fans, as insufferable as it will be if Arsenal wins the Champions League dealing with their fans, they will have to go out and earn this trophy, whosoever wins it. And I've already said this team that we're going to discuss next is the team that I pick. Hopefully I don't salt them up to win it. I said this a few weeks ago that this team is right on the cusp of winning it, knowing that they made the final. But the second leg of this Inter-Bayern game ended 2-2, 4-3 on aggregate for Inter. Lautaro Martinez, Pavard scorers for Inter, Kane and Dyer scorers for Bayern Munich. This was a proper ball game. Both teams were pushing each other in that second half. Both teams were pushing each other. A bounce here or there, and there could have been a different scenario,
I don't think so. Sorry, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think watching the game, Inzaghi, and I keep calling him Simeone.
Simeone and Inzaghi.
Yeah, but Diego Simeone. And there are so many similarities. I think Inzaghi, I think Inter would rather win a game 1-0 or 2-1 than trying to win 5-0. Because the whole game they were neutral. They did not come out of neutral until Bayern scored. And when Bayern scored, they said, all right, come down, turn it up for a little bit, take back the lead, all right, go back to neutral, kill out the game. Right? That was their approach. And it worked. The man them literally played a game, even though Turan, at the end of the game, when Turan did the interview, was dead tired. I think he was faking. He even said he was being corporate. I really think Inter just said, we just not losing to them. We're not trying for win big time. Let's just not lose. That's what I see from them. And I think there's another gear there. And that's why I say, look out. Look out, Barcelona. Look out, Yamal. This might be your moment where you learn from it and get better. Or you show that you are really top 3 in the world. This is your moment because Inter will play to put you out the game. That's really what they did today. I think Inter could have scored 3-4 goals if they wanted.
Down the stretch, Jan Sommer made some good saves. Muller had a header that Jan Sommer. I don't even know how Muller found that header. Harry Kane had a couple chances down the stretch. So, I mean, both of these teams, there's not a lot between these two teams, for me. And maybe it's just down to experience. The fact that Simeone Inzaghi's coaching in this stage, in this deep run, he has been to this rodeo before. I think Jamal Musiala would have helped made a difference for but watching this game, and I know you and I disagree on this. You think that based on this encounter, this is a sound warning to Barca? Is that the read?
Yes.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a bit more mixed. I think if Barcelona wingers can exploit, if Yamal and Rafinha can, I mean, there will be opportunities against this Inter team based on what I saw that Bayern Munich was able to get later on. I mean, knowing that Lewandowski is a much more efficient striker in front of goal than Harry Kane, there will be opportunities because of how Barca play.
Did you?
Tiger says Barca is going to win comfortably.
That is the poison pill. You don't listen to Tyrone. That is the poison pill. Listen to me. Look. You make a good point about the wing play, right, from Barcelona. What may I tell you? People, trust me. Believe me when I tell you this. Inter is playing in neutral. We have not seen the best from Inter yet. And they are going to gradually show their best when they need to. I'm telling you, this is a different team. It's so easy to point because for me, Bayern Munich, the reason why Bayern Munich was against all odds to win is because you had 2 defenders starting that cost the last coach's job. Kieran Dyer and Kim Min-jae, however you want him. Those are your starting centre-backs. You're not winning. You're not coming out successful in a game with Kieran Dyer, or Dyer, as your centre-back. He is a holding midfielder converted to centre-back. He cost Tuchel the job. So why we think so now things going to change and he's going to miraculously start playing better? That's madness. So Bayern was already under the gun. And I think Inter knew that. And I think Inter picked their spots. There's a reason why Inter was able to score instantly as Bayern scored. That means that them could have scored anytime they want. But they rather win the game than throw the game away. They rather come out the tie successful than throwing the tie away. So you have to be careful. Hold on. Shada Kali.
First caller to ball chat calling in. What? Yo. Hello, good evening. Welcome to ball chat.
Yo, Sean, you hear me?
Caller, you're on the air.
Sean, you not hear me? Hold on, Sean. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Football family, we're debuting calling feature tonight. Caller, the Arsenal fan. I think it's the Arsenal fan calling in.
Sean, you hear me?
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Me hear my a click. You hear my click, right?
Yeah. Caller, you have to go speak into the microphone, you know. Arsenal fan them still celebrate the victory, brother. All right, next caller, forward. Next caller, forward.
Sean, you not hear me?
I'm not here now.
Yeah, better you hear me?
There we go.
Ah,
Carly. The number.
the Arsenal fan.
Hey, we need to give my jersey. Calling the first caller. Junior, we have no extra jersey.
Yeah, man, send the jersey on. Send on the jersey.
We don't have we have one Tottenham jersey left.
A sacrilege that.
This is why we haven't left, because nobody don't want it.
That is sacrilege.
So what are you doing,
Come on.
Talk to me about the football game and your thoughts on it.
My thought, I'm telling a long time already, you know. One game at a time. Arteta know what is at stake this season, you know.
Yeah.
He have to give away a trophy.
So
One game at a time. I give him his props though. I think he managed these two games brilliantly. Despite the noise, social media after the first leg and thing, I think he did a wonderful job, and the players buy into it, and they played for it.
If Arteta wins this family, is Arteta in, you're saying?
Definitely.
Okay.
Time give me a trophy.
Yeah.
And this trophy would be a big one.
Yes, the big year.
Still on the Premier League, you know, but that's not gonna happen this year, so him still need a forward though.
Yeah, man. Arsenal was outstanding over the two legs. Big up. Very well, very dominant performance.
So Sean, look, what's your preview of the PSG tie? Your early takeaway for the PSG, and knowing that Arsenal playing the first game is at the Emirates, the second game will be in Paris.
The PSG is playing better than when we played them earlier this season. And the thing is with PSG, the way they play, they will give Arsenal opportunity to score. But they are dangerous themselves. The thing is though, I still trust Arsenal defense. It's not going to be an easy tie, but I think we can finish the tie again at home in the first leg.
Hold on. So you think Arsenal can score multiple goals against PSG at home in the first leg and not give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen enough from this team defensively to know that they can defend well. In terms of goals, if they play anything like how they played in this Real Madrid leg, I think they can get past PSG.
Okay.
Teams like Atletico Madrid or even Inter, if Inter make it, will give Arsenal problem because of how they play. They will sit back and wait on you. So they are a lot more dangerous than a team that does play open football.
Yeah, so PSG will give them some space to play.
Yeah, man. PSG, I think PSG is their style of play that.
Yeah. And I mean, I have Arsenal in the final, early reading, because that is coupled with what I saw from PSG versus Aston Villa yesterday. I think
In the second half.
Yeah, I think Arsenal is gonna beat this PSG team, but there's a lot of time between now and that semi-final game, and a lot can happen. So hopefully
That's true. In terms of players, I hope nobody get injured.
Yes. Hopefully no one. Semi-final is April 29th. So 13 days before that game they kick off.
Come on, 2 weeks.
No,
Yeah.
but forget about losing players to injury. What about players coming back from injury?
No, that's a plus for us.
Yeah, because Arsenal.
You don't want Kai Havertz back, brother.
Kai Havertz out for the season. I think Kai gone for the season. But what about Gabriel?
Not necessarily. If they make it to the finals, it might be back, you know.
Or what about Jesus?
Jesus is inter rehabilitation now, you know, so he's not far away either.
Right.
So my question to you, Sean, regarding your defensive peer, your CBs, Saliba, you know, is kind of now the uncle of the group, for lack of a better term, with Gab injured, right?
Yeah.
And so he's gonna go up against some speedster at PSG. Again with young Kivior to help protect. I mean, any concern about that? I mean, is it because of Partey and Rice in front of them why you have such confidence in this defense?
Kivior himself, him impressed me in these 2 legs.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it's because Arteta wasn't giving him enough games, but he came to the party in these 2 games. So I believe that he will continue on this trajectory. Saliba though, I think Saliba will stand the test of time. One of the problems I don't like with him tend to be too relaxed sometimes and then lose focus at times, like what he did today. As I've seen him done it in probably 2 or 3 other games. It's like him just zone out. Right? But outside of that, I think if he has the challenge, he plays even much better.
Yeah, but you see, I think, in my opinion, and tell me, guys, this is your side, Sean. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. But in my opinion, PSG presents a different kind of problem than Real Madrid does. I think PSG's the problem that PSG is going to present to Arsenal is Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. Those wing backs.
Yes, that's true.
So Lewis Skelly, to me, and what Lewis Skelly did today, and Lewis Skelly really run the Brazilian off of the field, basically. Him tell Rodrigo come off of the field. You know, this is not your caliber ball game. Come off of the field. But if I see PSG playing against Arsenal and Saliba is being called into play, that means Arsenal is that means the PSG is running rum shot through the middle, because Dembele and company, they want nothing to do with physicality. They want to run at you at angles. And Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, to me, remember, they were the ones that scored the goals against Aston Villa in the first leg. That, to me, is where the game is. And we saw Saka today run back. Martinelli, as much as we laugh and joke on Martinelli,
yeah, man, he ran back today too. Both of them.
Him and Saka ran back and helped I think this is that's where the game is going to be won and lost for me.
You see, it won't get any easier for Arsenal if they want to win the Champions League from this stage.
True.
Right? So the thing is, Saliba, as well as Dembele and the other French players, know each other games. And
yeah.
You understand? So is who play each other better now, you know? That's what it's going to boil down to.
Yeah.
Because they know each other games.
So no Thomas Partey in that
So
first leg.
Arteta need to come up with a master plan, and I think the players can stick to it. This is one drawback I have. Partey is a key to our midfield, and the fact that he won't be playing the first leg, that is a little bother for me.
And that's what Tony just put that in the chat too.
So now
Partey.
So does that mean Jorginho comes in?
Even if him come in, it's still not Partey.
Yeah. Definitely not Partey. Yeah. No Thomas, no Partey.
Well.
I understand.
Well. Let me play devil's advocate a little bit. Jorginho is no Partey in terms of what I saw Partey did to them was he gave Declan Rice the freedom to go forward and do what he needed to do, right? But I think one thing that I think Jorginho presents that Partey doesn't have, and even Declan Rice doesn't have to a point, is passing. And I think you can flip Declan Rice and Jorginho, make Declan Rice be the one that provide the cover, and let Jorginho be the one that roam. Because Vitinha and company going to run at you. We know that. But PSG is going to give up space behind them. And I would prefer a Jorginho to be on the ball, making that last telling decision before putting PSG under ultimate pressure. So maybe
I would agree with you.
So we don't know. Maybe it might be a blessing in disguise. We don't know. This is where Arteta now have an opportunity to show how much in conversations with Pep really work.
No, but I think
Well, you see, Arteta, I think, believe that he has an opportunity to do something really special. And in my heart, that I feel that he's not going to just let it go like that. You know, him going to use everything he can. He might go probably link up with Pep and link up with Wenger, all of the people that have been to the finals before and have won. Right? So I think he's going to use his resources, and I think he's going after this. Honestly, I think he's really going after this. So I'm not worried still, you know. I'm not worried. I wasn't worried about Real Madrid. I have a little concern about PSG though, because I did see something from them, and I told you guys, I think from about a month ago. So this PSG team, I don't know, them totally different from the past.
Yeah. Tell Benton, because Benton I say disrespectful for giving them ratings.
No man, I saw something from them for about a month now. Even Dembele, like the man find back himself.
Yep.
Now my point I was making about PSG is this. Until PSG proves to me that they can win the Big Ears trophy, they're just a hype. They are just a hype. Heavily invested, very talented group, very talented core of players, well top shelf manager, but you have to then go over the line. And what I saw today against Aston Villa, the heap of wobbling round our back, the wobbling leaves me a little concerned round our back.
But that is why I'm going to say this is the least talented PSG team for the past probably 7 years.
Well, I
On
don't know
paper.
about that. It depends.
On
So we
paper.
don't count
Right.
Yeah,
all
man,
the
on
fancy
paper.
ball at
Yeah, man,
times,
on
them.
paper. They're the least talented PSG team.
I agree.
Yet them are do more than what the others did.
You know, and so,
Tony said Aston Villa second half against PSG, they will be taken to the cleaners by Arsenal.
I mean, because
We don't want nobody hype up Arsenal. My team know what them supposed to do and what them all about. Because believe it or not, most people don't want Arsenal win this Champions League.
yeah, because then we have got to deal
Who
with
are
it,
not Arsenal fans.
Then we have got to deal with Arsenal fans. That is the problem. And they
No,
don't
but
know how to
honestly,
win.
Kenton, we deserve a Champions League by now, you know.
Yeah, if you don't win it, yes, and you deserve it. But the problem is that
Barcelona did rob one from us, you know.
All right, no, we got that ancient history. It's not the referee
Yeah, man, but
take
that's
our
true.
money.
I keep telling people say
Allegedly.
Arsenal was the best team in Europe that year, you know.
Yo, I watched that game again recently, and Thierry Henry had one-on-one with Victor Valdez and missed it. And it's on Thierry Henry.
But now I say no.
So we need to
But
figure
Benton,
out.
if that game did remain 11-11, we would not lose that game.
Yeah, that's the Van Persie red card game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, come on, Benton. Come on.
What?
Hey, Ty said good job. Ty said good job. But Arsenal season done after this. Sentiments don't work.
Well, it don't really matter, you know, Junior. At the end of the day, we are still in it, you know.
Yes.
Everybody are going to find something to say. Listen, the things that said before the second leg, oh, Lord have mercy.
And Tony says I'm an Arsenal fan from 1968. So imagine being a fan since all that time and going, you know what? Hey, Arsenal are going to win the Champions League for Tony. Win the Champions League for Tony. Win the big years. 1968.
Yeah, only for years that to the
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, I will leave that, man. Junior, none of whatever about it.
Long time. Big up, Tony.
Yeah, big up, salute Tony, guy.
Hello.
Yo, in a time like this, today is the day when you can celebrate and say, yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan from back then. But if Tony was saying that a year ago, 5 years ago,
I'm a tough fuck. Other year, my mother born.
And we know that Arsenal did not win the European title that year. Nor any year.
So this year for Arsenal then? Is that what
I'm
you're
hoping.
saying?
I am hoping. I think it will be special for all Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such upward mobility from here. Because if Arsenal get two good forward and another midfielder, trust me, they're gonna be a good team.
You know, if Arsenal win the Champions League, we're gonna do a live watch along Champions League final. First they met the final. If them do it, we're just
Well, me not gonna know until the Sabbath done still, you know.
Yes, this is true.
Right, it's a Saturday and
yes.
be purpose we don't have my phone on me on a Saturday, you know.
Don't worry yourself.
As me go to church, me can't sing, you know.
Yeah. Understand.
So me leave my phone in the car.
We give you wall-to-wall coverage afterwards.
Yeah, and that's May 31st. So we look. What I'm hearing now is we're looking past PSG.
That's why I'm not going to do that.
All right.
You know, that's why I keep saying to you guys, one game at a time.
One game at a time.
Me not jinx this, you know. I don't want to jinx it.
Because Ty said at the end of the day, Arsenal will be going up against a well-oiled machine. Watch and see when Barca turn it up. So no, but Ty don't look past PSG. Ty don't look past Inter for Barca, and he said it's a Barca.
I don't think Barca can beat Inter, though, you know, Jordan.
I don't think so either.
I mean, there are 4 teams in the semi-final. Any one of these 4 teams can win the Champions League.
True.
This is just so. Barcelona
But you know
has,
what's going to happen now, though?
yeah. Well,
Arsenal is going to be the favorite, you know. You know why, though?
Can they beat Real Madrid?
Them beat the champions.
Yeah, beat
Gonna
the
beat the
champion. Yeah, beat the champion. Yeah, Arsenal won't be surprised anybody in that leg from here on.
Yes.
I mean,
But both teams got PSG. PSG beat the team that everybody was saying at the time was playing the best in Europe, in Liverpool.
That's true.
yeah, don't bring up that team, them man. That team that gone on them yard long time.
But here what happened, Junior? Liverpool did lose a couple steps before that still, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Hold on.
And, BM says, big up BM, did you see the salad Hendrick got from Martinelli?
Benton. And right as the man come out on the field, you know, Benton. Right as Muscle Man come out on the field. As soon as the man come out on the field, I run go over the left wing. I know it was the right wing. Run go over on the right wing. Martinelli said, where are you going? Young man, told a salad and go away. The man Muscle Man salad. Wicked.
You know that look at you, they have potential still.
Yeah, man.
I think because of who them have playing up front, the PSG, not PSG, for Real Madrid, he's not getting the opportunities I'm supposed to get.
Yeah,
And he also need a mentor.
That he does. He does. He does.
Yeah, he need a mentor. I think him mentally he need to
all right, see
understand
salad, yeah.
what football is about at this level.
Hold on, people. Big up to FCBXJDB on Reddit. Yo, no, sir. Look here.
Yo.
And the man I try to lock up him leg, you know.
When the man run their salad and the commentator said, and Martinelli just welcomed this countryman to the game. Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
but look at Hendrick's face. When him salad drop, like man look at him.
Wait, by the way, well, come on. Should he bet the $50 against Arsenal?
Well, come on, probably I call her bookie right now.
Me tell her don't waste her money, you know. She not listen to me.
Yo, but big up yourself, family. First caller for ball chat. Others can call in. In fact, what the number again, family?
352, if you call up on WhatsApp, 352-745-0992. You can call on your regular phone line, 770-696-6040. But Sean, respect, brother.
Yeah, man. Anyway, a little bit.
Man. Bless up, family.
Respect. Yeah.
Junior, I don't think we should talk about any more football games for tonight. We should just watch this Hendrick.
Yo, but you must not watch the Inter game. You know, remember putting that chat and say Hendrick get a raw salad. Right as the man come for the game. Yo, I couldn't believe it, brother. I said, oh, God, Muscle Man. No, Muscle Man. No. No, okay, you know, right now, him wife probably still a rubber bed fee right now, you know.
Why you have to bring up them things, brother?
Remember them have a contract.
Hey, then everybody now have a contract with them partner, Bridget. That is nothing new.
Oh, that contract is different. And people, if you don't know the contract up with Hendrick and his they're married?
Soon to be partner, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know, she's a social media influencer herself, and they literally have a contract for their relationship. They can never go to bed angry at each other, or else there's a fine. They have to tell each other they love them every day. And no matter what happened, if they have an argument, they both have to end it with I love you or something like that. It sounds good on paper, but in the real world, I don't know, brother. And that's where you get salad. That's
Well,
my
me and a counselor, I'm not expertise, but good luck to the young couple. All the best. All the best to them. As a matter of fact, all the best to them. But whole salad under you one more time. But semi-final Champions League semi-final games. Just to remind listeners of the dates of the games coming down. Congrats to Arsenal and all the respective semi-finalists. Big up Arsenal. Semi-final leg one, Arsenal versus PSG, Tuesday, April 29th. Barca versus Inter, Wednesday, April 30th. Leg two, Inter versus Barca, May 6th. PSG versus Arsenal, May 7th. First leg for Arsenal is at home. Second leg is at PSG. First leg for Barca is at home. Second leg is at Inter. And as we get closer to those football games, we'll preview them more in more detail. You know? Football news, Carlin show, some other news family we want to touch before we exit the building. Reggae girlz, it was announced today, Reggae girlz will face a bit of news from the Reggae girlz, or from the JFF, not the Reggae girlz, but the JFF, Jamaican Football Federation. The Reggae girlz gone international, family. They will play the US on June 3rd, and on June 9th they will take on England. Junior, big opponent, family.
Yeah, I mean, why? That's my question right now. Is why?
Yeah.
I want
I
to play
understand
this
no
game.
one competition, so you get competition now.
Okay, but what are we going to do lead up to that game? How much weeks is that away? Week?
It's I didn't hear the question. Repeat the question.
How many weeks away? How many weeks do we have until that game? Like 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Yeah,
Right?
6 weeks. Yeah, thereabout.
Now, how many games are we going to play before that? Because
Well, they
after
played the USA on June 3rd. That's one game before.
yeah, but after getting 7 from Mexico, do you really want to go and play the USA right now?
Why you have to bring up all stuff, brother? Why you have to focus on the 7?
Well, to Ty ask a question there, buddy, I go play.
We're not sure. This game in England is at King Power Stadium. I think it's at King Power Stadium. And I mean, I do expect if she's healthy, yeah, I do expect Bonnie to play. I mean, it's, England coach Sarina Wegman says that she's looking forward to taking on the Reggae girlz. I'm really pleased to be able to play a good game to finalize our Euros preparation on English soil. Jamaica will be difficult. JFF President Mike Cricket says, I mean, we're just very, very excited to be getting on the field of play with probably one of the best teams in the world. So part of the preparation process leading up to the World Cup in 2027. So we're looking around for some really strong teams. That's from Mr. Ricketts, end quote.
And Ty say, well, if Bonnie not playing, don't play against US nor England. Go play against some Asian teams or Bahamas. Not even Asian teams. You don't want to play against China or Japan or maybe at about India.
No one wants to go play against Asian teams.
Pakistan.
I mean, I see what you're saying because there's a legitimate concern here. I agree with the position from a vantage point that you might get butter. Well, not might. You will get butter bruise in these games.
How about play some games and build up some like a string of wins. Build up. For some reason, I'm gonna keep harping on it. For some reason, our Jamaican Football Federation doesn't seem to value the importance of having consecutive wins. We don't seem to put value on building good vibes. We seem to think that we can just bring a team together and in one day build a good vibe and go out there go play.
Yeah,
There
if you
is
put,
value in
yeah, I agree.
there's value in looking for that team and say, look, hey, you know you guys haven't lost in 3 calendar months. You guys, hey, you know you haven't given up a goal in the last 360 playing minutes. Them little something there give you something to play towards in otherwise a practice game where you don't want players to make business decisions. If we go up and Trinity Rodman come and score in the first 5 minutes, yo, can't bother play no more now. This is a 7 of this, so me go on easy myself because I have game next week. I have training camp next week. We have to find some motivation to play these games. America have the motivation because those players will come in and say, this is my opportunity to show that I belong in a meaningful game. What is the motivation for the Jamaican girls?
Yeah.
Tony, good luck, Reggae girl.
I mean, you can't essentially go up against these sort of top shelf teams and bring Mexico sort of appearance or Mexico sort of vibes are outing against these top shelf teams. If you got 4 or 3 or 7 in total in aggregate against Mexico, you're gonna get butter bruise if you roll out with the same sort of vibes against these teams. So it's incumbent on the coaching staff, or is imperative that the coaching staff and the JFF get them ducks in a row. I know they like these fancy fixtures because from a financial perspective, I envision that they get a bigger return. You know, because a bigger name draw club, bigger name draw country, the seats supposed to sell out more. Jamaicans supposed to can sell for them share of the tickets, elevated prices. So they're supposed to get a bigger cut of the pie financially as opposed to a Mexico team.
But then you're penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah, but you can't, but we're not gonna say the JFF is ball savvy or money smart.
Well, they did get out of FIFA restrictions recently. So.
Well, this is true. So we take the progress. Yep, definitely true. Coach Bugsby says we look forward to this match against England at the end of June. I know our passionate diaspora in the Midlands and throughout the UK will be excited to support our team in person. This match serves as another crucial test heading into qualifiers later in the year. End quote. And I guess, Junior, if the idea is that these teams are so far superior than the potential opponents in qualifiers, does it matter if we get our head kicked off against these superior teams? Because they should have raised us at upper level, so when we go to qualify and play lesser competition, we should be ready up and to go. We have radio silence. Yeah, we're not.
I'm trying to find a big stone. I'm sorry. Benton, I thought I chop in this attack. Listen. You're playing against America, who is in your region. You're playing against England. When you look at teams that play practice games, look at the practice games that they play. The practice games are not just opportunistic games. These are not games where international teams come together and say, you know what? A long time when I play against Argentina, and come and see if Argentina want to play a game. There's a reason behind seeking out those games, right? Especially you see with the World Cup. Anytime World Cup is coming around, teams try to find opponents with similar identity to the teams that they're going to play against in the World Cup or in an upcoming competition to get ready for those games. So if you're going to play against Nigeria, for argument's sake, in the World Cup, you go and look for a team that is big, fast, physical, strong, play tough defense, and you say you want to play a game because we're using this for preparation. Jamaica played against England is no preparation for Jamaica because England doesn't give you any profile of teams that you're going to play against that will prepare you for qualifiers. So the reason why, and this could be arguably, this could be the reason why Jamaica's best for the women's team, their best playing style is parking the bus, kicking the ball long, and hopefully Money Shaw get a one shot. That's what Jamaica is at their best, right? Could it be because they keep playing against teams that force them to play like that? Is that why they kind of get pushed into that style of play? So that when they play against quote-unquote lesser competition, they still try to employ the same tactics. The two games they played one day at Mobile, that's how they played. There was they had no intention of maintaining possession of the ball. They had no intention of imposing their will on this team. They had no intention of imposing an identity on the game. They just wanted to play counter-attack football. And we wonder why. Every game they play, they have to play counter-attacking football. You're not going to play against America or England and go out there and treat them like you're playing against Bahamas or St. Vincent. So how the hell you expect them to know to play against St. Vincent or Bahamas? It's just... It made my head hurt me sometimes thinking about it. Like, what are we thinking about? Cool. You want to sell tickets to the diaspora. I mean, diaspora can watch them and blah, blah, blah. Okay, the diaspora come sit down and watch one game. Them lose 5 love. You think they will come back and watch the next game? So you get like a £20 right there, so and you're gone with that. You know going to try to sell that game to the Jamaican public at home versus Trinidad and say, hey, come and watch our Reggae Girls. Normally, when you have games like these and then promoting games like these, what do they normally show in the promotion, Benton? They normally show video highlights, right? You think them can show you the video highlights of Jamaican players playing in Jamaican jersey, getting ready to play against Trinidad and showing the fans. Here is an example of the style of ball that we are going to watch. You think you'll say nothing like that? You're going to say, Money Shaw in our Man City jersey and run and take shot. Because they don't have any film or any identity wearing a Jamaican jersey other than parking the bus, kicking the ball long, and get one little buck-up goal. When are we going to move away from that? When are we going to try to get some identity? You lose to Mexico 7-0, right? And you say, all right, cool. We lose to Mexico 7-0. What happened in this game, Dion Burton? Why did we lose 7-0? What was it that we were trying to do that we couldn't accomplish versus Mexico and can't score 1, but they can put 7 past it? What do we need to plug out and what do we need to plug in? How are we going to attain that? You think playing against America will show you the holes that you need to fix that get exposed versus Mexico? You think you can fix those holes against America and England? Come on, man. Come on.
I have nothing else to add. I will just say, just like how we, Junior, would like Reggae Girls to play get right teams, I think Mexico, I think USA and England are playing the Reggae Girls to get right. I mean, Serena Wigman said, I mean, it's a nice game to get ready for the Euros. So, I mean, it's just, you don't play Brazil right before you get to the Euros. You play the Reggae Girls, or you play, a competition where you can easily handle. Man. It doesn't make sense to me, but this is the landscape of the Reggae Girls we have to work with, brother. So, 7-0 on aggregate against Mexico. Better opponents. It don't look good on paper. It don't look good on paper. So, but Mike Ricketts, the president of JFF, is very happy. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man.
June 3rd, Reggae Girls against USA in St. Louis, Missouri, and June 29th, they will travel all the way to the UK to take on England in at the King Power Stadium. Before we go, man, we had one update regarding Premier League games. Premier League uh, top four race, a game played today, and we just want to look at the table real quickly. I think Newcastle defeated Crystal Palace 5-0. Newcastle looking good, family. Looking good. 5-0 victory for Newcastle. Murphy, Guy, Barnes, Isaac, and Shearer with the goals. Let's see, where does this victory now leaves Newcastle in the Premier League standing?
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace could feel hard done because they played on a Champions League quarter-final night against a team chasing for the Champions League.
Yeah.
So
Now
anyhow, look at them and say, yo, let's go out there and play like we're playing in the Champions League quarterfinals.
now, Julian, with today's victory, Newcastle has leapfrogged Nottingham Forest into third on 59 points, and Man City has fallen out of the top four into fifth on 55 points.
Remember we said it.
Yeah.
Sunday gone.
Sunday gone, yeah.
Nottingham Forest might not finish in the top four.
Yeah. They're looking shaky.
They travel to Tottenham Monday.
Nottingham Forest looking shaky here, brother. Looking shaky.
Yeah, and I said it. I wouldn't be surprised if Nottingham Forest don't make it to the top four, because Nottingham Forest or Man City, who you think is better off to be at the top four, and remember, well, yeah, it rough, and if Man City slip, Chelsea's right there as well, ready for take top four as well for Nottingham Forest. So it rough.
Yeah, but impressive. And by the way, any update on Coach Eddie Howe? I know he was hospitalized on the weekend. Is he still in the hospital?
I haven't. There must have been a report out, but I haven't. Let me check.
Let's look here real quickly. So he wasn't on the sideline today, so he was still away. Jason Tyndale prepared to lead Newcastle for the rest of the season, according to The Guardian.
Yeah?
Yeah, so The Guardian is reporting that Jason Tyndale prepared to lead Newcastle for the rest of the season as Howe recovers. Manager in hospital being treated for pneumonia. No exact time frame for his return. Yo, watch yourself, the Eddie. Recover quickly, brother. Watch yourself on the thing there. So Jason Tyndale will lead this team for the remainder of the season. Fixtures coming up this as we take ourselves. Champions League done today. Europa League tomorrow. Tottenham and Manchester United. Lyon versus Man U. Tottenham versus, which team this? Eintracht Frankfurt. And in Conference League, Chelsea versus Legia Warsaw. Yeah, I that to know. Hey, wait. Will Onana play tomorrow? That's the only question we have before we go.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
We'll see. Sunday will be very interesting, depending on how this game ends up.
And the fixtures for this weekend in Premier League. Sunday, what? Sunday, the game against Wolves. Man U game.
Yep. No, but Man U versus Lyon tomorrow will be very interesting Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yo, big up to the first caller. We have our call, and calling is only available on Wednesdays, right? We just have to do it on Wednesdays.
Sunday's more a news show.
Yeah, Wednesday halftime show. Sunday it's more a roundup or recap show. But people can always chime in with their comments. Congrats to Arsenal, congrats to PSG, congrats to Barca, Inter. Arsenal versus PSG, Barca versus Inter. Semi-finalists for the Champions League. Hendrik takes a lot under you. And we're gonna leave with Hendrick salad. Hendrick getting salad by Yo, I that you know, we are going where we are now.
Yo, people, later, you know. Watching on Facebook right now, go over to YouTube. Go over to, you can hit and follow on Facebook as well, but go over to YouTube. Big up to we have 2 new subscribers today. Fees Henry and one of them, you know. So, big up to Tony. Arsenal fan since 1968. Yo.
Big up to the elder. Big up, salute.
He's the longest, I think he's the longest running Arsenal fan. No, big up to Uncle Errol. Uncle Errol watch the show as well. So Uncle Errol is also an Arsenal fan. Tony and Uncle Errol, you guys might be neck to neck. Might be neck to neck. But big up Uncle Errol. Forget to big up Arsenal fan. We know you're happy. Also, before we end the show, a little bit of a sad news. We ended the show Sunday talking about the passing of Trinidad's
Ben Hecker. Leo Ben Hecker.
But then also the Gabon player that lost his life as well.
Yeah, Bundesliga.
Yeah, and I'm going to leave the story alone. There's more to that story. I'm going to leave it alone.
Aaron Bumpendeza.
Yeah, and the story is shaky. Story is shaky around the untimely death, and we'll leave that to the authorities. He fell from 11th floor, and untimely death. Rest in peace, and condolences to the family. We don't like ball shot like that, but it's a football show, and we big up the ballers. Them pass and gone are current. So rest well, baller.
Yep. Jaja.